people are more into the myths now than they were years ago because Marvel Universe. But Marvel is mostly dealing with Valhalla and the Norse myths, although they do tend to like Hercules a little bit now and again. But Hercules is the half-brother of the woman of my evening, and that is Athena. Now, Athena is a great goddess to consider. I mean, like, how was she born? Boom! She sprang out of her father's head. I mean, no worries for any mother about, oh, the pain, the pain. I mean, what a great way to come into the world. And she is the master, or mistress, shall we say, depending on how you're using adjectives. She is the master of the 3 W's: war, wisdom, and weaving. Now you say, how did you put those 3 things together? Don't ask me, ask Zeus, her dad. In wartime, Athena was known to lead all of the guys into battle. When you needed advice on strategy, or like big time war stuff, or even, what should I do about my girlfriend? I mean, you didn't write a letter to, ask Amy or any of those things. You consulted Athena because she was wise. And she might come to you either as an old woman or an old man. She was versatile. And then her dad tacked on one more thing: weaving. He made her the goddess of domestic arts. I don't know if that's because nobody else wanted it, but she became the goddess of weaving. And let me tell you, this woman was no slouch. Well, this goddess woman. She was also a fantastic weaver herself. What an artist. You don't hear about that part of Athena too often, but in this story, you're going to hear about it. Now, there was a human down there in Greece, and her neighbors and friends called her Miss A because she was the alpha weaver. Weaving was very important in her town. Oh yeah, it was really known, Lydda, for the purple cloth. But when all the merchants began to go through to get the purple cloth, because purple was not an easy color to get, purple. And my neighbor's wearing purple. So purple was not an easy color to get. Well, Miss A and some of her friends saw that they could put their talent to good use, gathering up the funds and making a name for themselves. It wasn't long before the weavings of Miss A became known not just on the trade route, oh, pick up a weaving to take home to the wife. This woman does really good work. No. People were beginning to say, this woman is the best weaver in all of Greece. And then people were beginning to say, this woman is the best weaver ever. Once they started to say that, word got up to Mount Olympus, and Athena heard about it. Now, one of the things that Athena was not was modest. She really liked being the center of attention on all 3 fronts. All the guys in the army, lead us into battle, Athena, because not only are you wonderful, but you're so beautiful. She liked that, And tell us, give us your wisdom, Athena. She liked that. And here she was, the best weaver in all of Earth and Mount Olympus, and somebody was challenging her. So she thought, I'll bet this woman, she's just real grateful to me for her talent, because, hello, I must have given it to her, when she was a baby, like the fairy godmothers, maybe she went in and said, this child will be a great weaver. You don't know. But anyway, Athena decided she should take things into her own hands, so she goes down, disguises herself as an old woman, and goes up to the place where Miss A was weaving with some of her friends. She walks around and looks at the big looms that these young women have, and oh my goodness, she sees But Miss A is weaving a garden. And the flowers, they look so real that you want to just reach out and pick one off the weaving. She is good. So she walks around some more. Wow! Do you young girls have anything to share with an old woman? It's so hot out there. Maybe a little bit of retsina or perhaps a small cup of coffee and some baklava. Maybe you could share. Of course. Even Miss A gives her a little bit of something to eat, and the woman sits down by the loom and watches her with the shuttle, putting the threads in through the warp. My, it's getting prettier and prettier and prettier. And Athena says, "Young woman, you're quite good." "Oh, yes, I am. Thank you. I know. But thank you for noticing." "Well, you must be really grateful to Athena for your skills, huh?" "Oh, Athena, why would I bother with her? She's up there on Mount Olympus. I worked at my craft. I taught myself to weave. And I am the best weaver in Greece because I work at it." "Because you work at it?" Boom! Puff of smoke, and Athena in all her glory, wearing the armor that she would have worn going into battle, her beautiful dark hair flowing, her eyes blazing. "So, you didn't get any of your talent from me?" Well, now, little Miss A is a bit discombobulated because Athena is quite formidable, and she says, "Well, I worked at my talent, and I stand by the fact that it's my talent that has gotten me here. And I don't remember you ever coming to teach me." "You think you're the best weaver? Perhaps?" "Well, I don't know. I've never seen you weave." "What? I'm the goddess of weaving!" "Well, I don't know. I've never seen your weaving." "Listen here, young lady. We're going to be together and weave together tomorrow, and I'll show you who's a good weaver." And they set up a contest. Oh, yes, a contest between the two of them. You have Miss A and you have Athena. And Athena agreed not to use magic. I mean, she did try to play fair. The looms were set up by the people of the town. They put in strong silk threads in the warp. 2 looms. They set them up by the temple in the courtyard. The weaving would start at dawn the next day. Now, Athena gathered up all her favorite colors of yarns and silk and gold threads. And Miss A, she got her stuff together too. And she tried to think really hard. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? How can I make my weaving the most beautiful? So she went to the storehouse of the town and she got gold and silver threads to make good reflections. But of course, Athena had gold and silver threads too, and she had jewels to put in hers besides. Well, next morning, they're sitting there at their looms. All of the town came out at dawn. And from above on Mount Olympus, it was heard, "Will you please applaud for the one you think is best, Athena or your townsperson?" He didn't even remember her name. So The contest begins. Both of them working. Around noon, Miss A gives a gaze over to Athena's. Wow, it was spectacular. She was doing a weaving of the gods and the goddesses of Olympus. Why, it looked like Olympus had come right down to their town. It looked like her father Zeus was going to just leap right out at people. Wow. And she looked at her own weaving. Well, Athena was also given a glance at hers, and Athena was thinking, this girl is good. Look at those flowers and things. What is that she's making in there? They look like people. But it wasn't people. No, Miss A hadn't finished yet. And they go on and on and on and pay attention to their own looms and boom, 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 through the shuttles. And the people are trying to get a look, but they put up a screen so the people can't look ahead of time. And finally, 2 hours before sunset, so they could still see the cloth, the contest is ended, comes the word from above. And the town's head comes over and snip, 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 takes the weavings off the looms. The first weaving he holds up is by Athena. Wow! I told you it was gorgeous. It was Olympus and all the gods and goddesses, but she surpassed herself. She shows the gods and goddesses giving gifts to humankind. I mean, good propaganda, huh? You want the votes from the people down there? You're going to show them getting gifts from you. Not too shabby, Athena. I mean, she isn't the wise owl for nothing, huh? You know, while we got the wise owl, that's from Athena being smart. I told you, the W, wise. Okay. People are, oh, wow. Ooh, this is gorgeous. Oh, my goodness. And then the town's head shows the one from Miss A, the alpha weaver of their town. And let me tell you, it was amazing. Not only were there flowers and things that you could pick, but those figures that she had been starting around noon, they were gods and goddesses too. Only these gods and goddesses were showing the effects of a little too much time in the company of Dionysius. I mean, we're not talking a visit to a local winery here. We're talking about having poured a keg or two of local wines and alcohol into yourself and what you might look like walking around after. And the gods and goddesses, a few of them were engaged in less than G-rated activity. Right there on the weaving. Athena took one look at that, and especially the position that her dad had been put in, and she goes right over and picks up that weaving. Now, normally you couldn't rip a weaving in half like that, but she was a goddess, and she rips it, and then rips it again into strips. And the people, they didn't even get a chance to applaud for Miss A, and now they're afraid to. I mean, would you? Huh? After seeing how Athena reacted, I wouldn't. I don't know, I am a coward about these things because Athena, she's pretty powerful. And so, Miss A just looks at her and said, you ripped up my weaving. She says, oh, don't worry about it, honey. I'm gonna fix you. And she waves her finger around. Whoops, she didn't mean to hit the microphone. And waves the finger around and zap! I'm changing your name from Alpha to Arachne. And you, and sure enough, the woman began to shrink down. Even as Athena was talking, she shrank and she shrank and she shrank till she was a little black spider with 8 legs. Now, you'll weave all right. You'll weave webs. And people will see you and they will scream and run when they see you. And they will see your webs and they will break them up because they don't want you in their house. And that's the story of Athena and Arachne. Now, I've written a poem about it where I say, Arachne's skill amazes still. In the morning I find webs shouldering over my petals on the rose, and they're shining like diamonds in the web. But of course, I am not a fly, because Arachne's webs do have their point. Now, one more thing, you must have wondered why I wore my purse up here. You think I don't trust Amanda over there, but I trust her. But it's this. I was only a few weeks ago old when I learned that up here, the U.S. government has taken a stand. Oh yeah. Arachne's weaving was destroyed by Athena, but some people saw it when it was first unfurled, and some people might have voted for her if they were real brave. But up here, there's a little nodule on the dollar bill, if you've got it. And if you look at it, you'll see either an owl or a spider. An owl is Athena's special animal. I did tell you that. And the spider, well, we know who that is. That's why we call them arachnids, honey. So take a look at your dollar bill and what you see. Think about it. Maybe that's the way you voted, or maybe that's the way the engraver voted when he made the dollar bill. Thank you.